Welcome back to Turkish Stars Explained, the channel where we break down the biggest headlines about Turkish stars going global, what's real, what's hype, and what the numbers actually mean. Now let me start with a bold line. Sandokan didn't just premiere. Sandokan reportedly broke a major TV record. And that changes the conversation around Can Yaman in a very real way. Because for the last few days you've probably seen the same phrases everywhere: ratings explosion, prime time domination, event series, global breakout. And usually those phrases are, let's be honest, more emotion than evidence. But this time there's a specific claim behind the hype. Sandokan's debut was framed as the strongest series debut in years, with standout performance in key audience groups, including the commercial target and under 35 viewers. So today we're answering one question. If Sandokan really delivered a record-level debut, what does that mean for Can Yaman's international career? And what should we watch next to know if this is a one-night fireworks show or the start of something bigger? Let's break it down. First, we need to talk about what record-breaking actually means. When people hear record, they imagine an all-time historic number that will never be touched. But in television, record language is often tied to a specific window. The last few years, the post-pandemic era, a certain network, or a certain time slot. So the smarter way to hear record-breaking debut is this. Sandokan didn't just perform well. It performed well in the way networks and advertisers care about most. And it performed well compared to other recent launches. That's important because premieres are tricky. A premiere is where marketing is loudest, curiosity is highest. And everybody wants to check out what the internet is screaming about. The true story is what happens after that curiosity wave fades. But a strong premiere still matters, because it sets the narrative. And narratives in entertainment create momentum. Now let's talk about the two numbers that should instantly make you lean forward. 1. The commercial target audience. That basically means the viewers advertisers value most. It's the group that helps decide whether a show is simply watched, or whether it's profitable, sustainable, and worth pushing harder. And 2. The under 35 audience. That group is famously hard to lock down on traditional TV. Under 35 viewers are the ones most likely to stream later, watch highlights, or just skip the show entirely and follow the discourse online. So when a show performs strongly with under 35s, it's a signal that the series isn't only pulling a classic TV audience, it's also pulling viewers who represent the future. And that's where Sandokan becomes bigger than a local success. Because if you're trying to build a global franchise, you need more than one strong night. You need cultural movement. You need younger viewers who talk, share, clip, meme, and turn a series into a conversation. Now, why does any of this matter for Can Yaman specifically? Because Can Yaman's international story has always been a debate between two narratives. Narrative number 1 says, Can Yaman is a real cross-border star. He has presence, charisma, and a fan base that travels. Put him in the right projects, and he can carry international attention. Narrative number 2 says, his fame is loud, but it's not necessarily scalable. It's strong in specific regions, but it doesn't automatically translate into mainstream power in every market. Sandokan is designed to test which narrative wins. This isn't a small, quiet project. Sandokan is an iconic adventure brand. It's meant to feel like an event, not a casual weekly drama. The entire concept is built for scale, recognizable IP, cinematic vibes, and a lead actor as global poster boy strategy. So when Sandokan comes out and the debut is framed as a major success, it gives the Can Yaman brand something it always benefits from: proof of performance. And in the entertainment business, proof sells faster than potential. Now, before we get carried away, we need to be real about something. Italy is not the US. A prime-time win in Italy does not instantly mean America is next. The US market is different, the platform ecosystem is different, and what trends in one country doesn't automatically trend everywhere else. But here's the key point. The US doesn't need Italian ratings to care about Sandokan. The US needs the right distribution, the right placement, and the right marketing moment. In other words, the leap from Italian success to global success is not automatic. It's engineered. And that engineering depends on 3 things. how the series is packaged internationally, where it lands on major platforms, and whether audiences outside Italy actually start watching and finishing it. So let's talk about what Sandokan's strong debut can unlock. Number 1. It boosts leverage. When a show is framed as a winner, it becomes easier to negotiate international deals, better time slots, stronger promotional pushes, and more confident marketing. People don't like betting on question marks. They like betting on momentum. Number 2. It strengthens the event identity. An event series is not just a show. It's a moment. And moments travel better than ordinary seasons. When something is positioned as an event, international audiences are more likely to sample it because they feel like they're missing a party. Number 3. It upgrades Can Yaman's global resume. And this part is huge. In global casting conversations, producers aren't asking, "Does this actor have fans?" They're asking, "Has this actor proven he can anchor a high-budget project and generate measurable attention?" A strong debut helps answer that question. Now let's zoom in on why under 35 performance is the most interesting detail for international impact. Because younger audiences are the bridge between traditional TV and streaming culture. If a show resonates with under 35s, it tends to create faster word of mouth, more social content, more fan edits, and more "I'll check it out" curiosity beyond the original market. That's how you go from successful to exportable. And Sandokan, as a brand, is especially suited for that. It's adventure. It's bold. It's visual. It's not a quiet, subtle story that only works if you grew up with a specific cultural context. Adventure is one of the easiest genres to globalize, because the emotional language is universal. Heroism, betrayal, romance, danger, freedom, rebellion. So if the show has a strong start, the question becomes, will the story keep people hooked after the premiere? Because here's the harsh truth about premieres. Premiere can be inflated, can be curiosity, can be marketing. It can be, "I just want to see what this is." The real proof is retention. Retention is week 2. Retention is episode 3. Retention is whether people finish the season. So if you want to track whether Sandokan becomes a global moment, don't just watch headlines. Watch patterns. Here are 3 patterns you should pay attention to next. Pattern 1. Stability. What happens to the numbers after the debut? Do they hold steady or do they fall sharply? A big fall says the premiere was curiosity. A steady run says the audience is emotionally invested. Pattern 2. International visibility. Do major platforms place it in visible slots? Do you see it promoted, featured, recommended? Visibility is not random. It's a decision. Platforms push what they believe can travel. Pattern 3. Conversation growth. Do people outside the core fanbase start talking? Not just Can Yaman fans, but general TV audiences, international viewers, and entertainment pages that normally ignore Turkish stars. If you start seeing non-fan audiences react, that's the real signal that the story is expanding. Now let's bring it back to Can Yaman. If Sandokan continues to perform, it does 3 powerful things for him. First, it reframes him as an international lead, rather than a regional heartthrob. There's a difference. A regional heartthrob can sell magazines and fan pages. An international lead can carry a franchise and unlock bigger budgets. Second, it gives him a cleaner global narrative. People love a story. Actor leaves one market, enters a bigger stage, and proves himself. Sandokan, if it holds momentum, becomes that proof point. Third, it creates momentum for the next project. In entertainment, you're only as hot as your last headline. A strong debut doesn't just help Sandokan. It also helps whatever comes next, because it puts Can Yaman back in the bankable conversation. But I'll say this again. The global breakout isn't guaranteed. Depends on the rollout strategy. A lot of series have huge launches and then disappear internationally because there's no follow-through. No placement, no marketing, no timing. So what we should do right now is simple. Enjoy the win but track the signals. If the show stabilizes, if platforms push it internationally, and if conversation expands beyond the core fandom, then yes, we can start calling this a real global step. And if not, then it's still a major achievement, a big local win that strengthens Can Yaman's credibility and keeps the door open. Either way, Sandokan is not a small headline. It's a test case. It's the kind of project that can turn potential into proof. Now I want to hear from you. Do you think Sandokan's debut is the beginning of a real global breakout? Or do you think it's a huge Italy-only moment? Drop your take in the comments, and if you want more breakdowns like this, subscribe to Turkish Stars Explained. Hit the like button and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.